Good evening. This is my favorite place to be in my bed. How is everyone doing? I look much better. This eye is still swollen. Okay, like you could feel it. Like there's like a little sac or something in there. But I'm doing better. I have really bad allergies, and surprisingly, excuse me, having the cats hasn't really actually caused me that much trouble. It's the fact that I've been messing with those plants so much. I'm like, you know, touching them, then touching my face, touching them, touching my face. And so I now have like the worst allergic reaction with my eyes. And then I've been crying a lot. Be honest with you. This past week, I just didn't do well. I did not do well. So for the sake of transparency, letting you know that I did not do well. I sent 19 texts that should have never been sent. But I wanna talk about it because I started thinking about it again. Borderline personality disorder and emotional rape. Right, those videos we talk about um, the symptoms of emotional rape and how they, very closely mirror borderline personality disorder. And the impulsivity, and my therapist isn't aware of this texting yet. They will be, but they are aware of some passive, some passive suicidal ideation. It's not like it's passive. So what passive means to me, right, is there is no exact like idea or ideation. Like I'm not thinking I'm going to harm myself and I'm going to harm myself this way. That is when it's alarming, like far more alarming, and you want to go to, you want to go to the hospital, really. You want to get pink slipped. Mine isn't like that. Mine is just, I just want this shit to be over. Uh, I wish I wasn't here. I wish, like those little comments, but there is no actual ideation. And so I'm recognizing that I'm going through those symptoms right now. And I wanted to go over it, but I just didn't feel like pulling out my other phone. I usually have another phone that I deal with. I almost always have two phones charged up, but my last this phone that I'm using now is a new phone. I got this phone, I don't remember if it was late last year or the beginning of this year, but I did get a new phone because my previous phone, excuse me, it wasn't, not only was it having problems with the sound, it was also having um like it was dying really quick. The battery life on it was terrible. Essentially, it had all of the signs, the things that are wrong when you have hacking. And in fact, I got this phone, and then my dumb ass, okay, I transferred everything to this phone, and I noticed immediately like the battery life, all that stuff is really fucked up. And I think I just transferred whatever spyware or whatever's on that other phone onto this phone, because all the same things still happen. The random changing of my apps, the turning, I'm in the middle of listening to something, and it'll just turn it down, and screenshots. So sometimes when I'm like on the calls with my kids, I haven't done FaceTimes with my son in a long time, but I would do FaceTimes and somebody would screenshot. And he'd be like, I saw you, you took a screenshot. And I was like, I didn't take a screenshot. I didn't take a screenshot. Same thing would happen with Natty. We'd be on Facebook, and did you just take a screenshot? No, I didn't just take a screenshot. So we have like, all that shit went from that phone to this phone, and I can't even use that phone. That old phone, like I'll charge it up and I'll turn it on, and like it's dead within 15 minutes. It's wild. I don't know what made me say that shit. What made me say that? Oh, the fact that I wanted to look up these symptoms for you because I'm actually experiencing a lot of them. And rather than and I also experienced like a little bit of burnout too. Like, I've been on a really good routine, and then all of a sudden, like, I'm tired. I've said it before. I burn out really easily. Um, I don't know. Like, I do everything that I'm supposed to. But like I just seen this weekend, as you see, no grooming. I mean, I took a shower and everything, but I didn't do my hair. I got one nail missing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm tired. I didn't do my meal prep. It'll get done. But I found that I had to like rest. As you said, I'm tired. I'm sitting here yawning, and honestly, that doesn't really indicate being tired. It just I need to take a couple deep breaths. um. So. Uh. Yeah, I didn't really do my best this week or this weekend. You know. Um. In terms of the of texting, but I mean, I was still walking. We're right now because I changed certain things in my nighttime routine. It changed my morning routine, so we walk in the morning now. You know, um, and sometimes we walk in the afternoon. So there's days where we've gotten like 2 walks in a day. He's real happy with that. Ooh, excuse me. We had like an incident. He and I, my son, that we've been recovering from for like 2 weeks. I haven't talked to my daughter this entire month. That has been affecting me like really bad. Really freaking bad. um, and really is probably the catalyst to what has transpired over this past week from like Sunday of last week to Sunday today. It's just been like a really wild week. Behaviorally, I do have a therapist appointment this week. Um, so and she's aware that I haven't been in contact with my daughter for a month. It's going on a month this week. With no communication or explanation. She said she was calling and then she never did. And, keep reaching out to the other parent. Not heard anything. So, I just keep sending her messages. And Aaron was student of the month this month. I think I mentioned that in the last video, though. I might have, but I might not have. So that was good news, and I've still spoken to my oldest son, so just trying to I don't really know, because at this point I'm getting like a little irritated. It's not at this point. It's not at this point. The point has been passed already. You know, like the point has been passed of irritation. Like I was saying that shit when this channel started. That was 5 years ago, and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm always doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not, there's nothing extra that I should be doing. I'm not a reader. I'm not a tarot reader. You know, I was led to do readings. Aaron would tell me specifically how many readings I was supposed to do, and I would do them, and they would be great or whatever, but I'm not a reader. So that's not really supposed to be one of my streams of income. You know what I'm saying? Neither is this. This was never for that. I hoped that I could reach, the people that I needed to reach, and help them with the little bit of knowledge that I have, but I don't know everything. And the process of rebuilding my home and like rebuilding my life has been so grueling because, one, there's so much that I can do in this little town. you know, uh, I like to do a lot of things in person, okay, unless I absolutely have to do it online. Excuse me. I don't do it uh online. Like, unless I absolutely have to, you will see me in person. So that's what's taking everything so long. Cuz I'm doing a lot in person. Every single thing I do, I got to go up there in person. You're going to see me face to face. Um and actually, things happen for a reason. Because here's a little bit of information about my finances, which is really nobody's business. But um, when I, excuse me, when I was leaving Maryland, and this might have been brought up in the artist survival videos. Okay, when I was leaving Maryland, oh, the time is 22:11. 10:11. Okay, the time currently is 10:11. So, anyways, when I was leaving Maryland, I got a letter stating that my Social Security had ended due to how much I made that year. So I now owed them like $18,000, right? So when I moved here, uh, it was ended, and I didn't have any income except for like the what are stimulus checks and the kids stimulus checks and all that stuff. And it took me a long time to go and apply again. I didn't apply again until uh 2023. And at first I used to kind of beat myself up about it, but again, um I don't do anything online, especially with that office. Social Security office, I need a paper trail. Sorry. Like, I need a paper trail. An email is not enough. And they don't send emails. Neither does Job and Family Services, or for some of y'all, that's DSS, right? DSS, DHS, whatever it is. They don't, like, if I send them an email, I don't get an email saying, hey, we got your email or anything like that. So I just want a paper trail. That's why I do everything in person. So I kind of like beat myself up at first because I was like, oh, I sat and I waited, 3 years. I think it was 21, 22, 23. It was like 3 years. I waited 3 years to resolve this issue with Social Security. And I used to like, you should have done that sooner. If you would have done that sooner. Actually, no. Because waiting that 3 years, they actually took like almost all my back pay in order to pay back that debt. And had I resolved it immediately, then they would have been taking money out that entire time. And you would think to yourself, oh, well, it's better than nothing, but not really, because the amount of money that they take out, I'd be paying these motherfuckers back the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? It would never stop, and I would never have the amount that I have now. Yeah, I would have been paying the motherfuckers back for the rest of my life, or at the very, like, for instance, I still owe them a little bit, and that's going to take 5 years to pay off, and it's only like $3,000. So just imagine, it would have taken, and I don't plan on being on disability for the rest of my life either. So there's other ways for them to recoup that money. So waiting that 3-year period actually did me a lot of good, and I'm actually glad that I did it that way. but I went through a lot of hardships, and it was like a real slow process of getting back to, um, excuse me, getting back to, stability. And I'm still not even there, but I'm almost there. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. Um, yeah, so that was like a little more personal than anybody really needed to know, but I would advise, if you're able to do it, because the only reason that I was able to do that is because I live in subsidized housing. If I didn't live in subsidized housing, that would have never been possible, and I would have probably needed to have, done it immediately. But my if you have an overpayment with Social Security, my advice to you is to make sure that you pay that shit. um, if you can, and if they're not going to waive it. If they waive it, I mean, they can waive it. So, they weren't going to waive it in my case, though, because, um, it was, what happened? What happened? Oh, they weren't going to waive it because I also got, unemployment during COVID. So I can either have the unemployment or I can have the Social Security. I can't have both. So, um, that is what they, that's what they, I didn't get that wave. If you can't get your shit waived, you don't need to do anything. Just my choice of words. But, my suggestion to you would be to make sure that you use that lump sum that they give, that back pay. You pay that shit off. Um, so yeah, it was a very rough week. I did not have a good week. I cried almost every day at some point. Um, I still did my stuff though. Like, I still did all the stuff that I was supposed to do. I went where I was supposed to go. I got up, I did my shit. I just, this weekend, did not. I'm still rocking the same fucking ponytail as yesterday. Or bun, or whatever you call that shit. Still rocking the same shit as yesterday. Um, I didn't do my dermaplaning. My toes need done. Like, I'm gonna try to do all of it tomorrow. Procrastination, but Aaron won't be here too, so it'll make it a lot. I've said that before, where since he started school, um, I've kind of moved my cleaning and hygiene to the Mondays and Tuesdays, because he's not here. He doesn't, you know, eat my food while I'm trying to make it at the same time, and stuff like that. I gotta do my meal prep. That has been going well and not well at the same time, because Aaron likes the food that I make, um, and he chooses to eat like our meals instead of the snacks. I have snacks set up. I have meals set up. It's going well, but not well, because then I'll look and I'll be like, hey, you just ate like 3 dinners. Why couldn't you eat the snacks? The fuck? Eat the snacks. Dinners are for dinner. You know, which I think long time ago I was talking about, I let him have like a donut or Oreos or something for breakfast. Why argue about it? When he's young, yeah, but now he understands the way the flow is. He's got to go with the flow now. Like, go on. We're not doing that leniency stuff anymore. I don't even know if you can hear me. I just realized my fan is in my face. And the last time I did a video with a fan like that, it sounded really bad and nobody could hear me. And it just occurred to me just now. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this video so as not to waste any more time should it sound bad. And I hope that everybody has a good night and tries to take care of themselves. I'll try my best to take care of myself as well, to the best of my ability, under the circumstances, under the frustrations and triggers that I am experiencing. You all have a fucking good evening.